welcome to Neophyte.tv, the technology show for the not-so-geeky. I'm Heather Driscoll.
And I'm Ben Friedman, and today on the show, we've been sent this really cool little computer by the good folks over at Puget Computer Systems. You know, before we get into this computer, you know, Puget used to be a sponsor of ours, and they've advertised with us before, which is wonderful. And a lot of times people wonder, you know, why should I go to a company like Puget rather than like Dell or HP?
That was my question.
Right.
I mean, so many people make a smaller version, a mini computer now.
Right, and you're not, you know, this was before your time, is when the last time Puget was sponsoring us. But people often ask that, and you know what? Puget is like, you know, you can go to P.F. Chang's or some big chain restaurant and get a certain number of things, but a lot of times people like to go to a smaller boutique restaurant, and you can talk to the waiter, and you can ask for special things, and you know, if you say, hey, instead of cheddar, can I get pepper jack in that? And they have much less of a problem with that. It doesn't have to be
different level of service. So you're saying that Puget offers...
Right. So what Puget does is they are super custom. They can, you say I want a Blu-ray instead of a DVD, no problem. You want this video card. In fact, even if it's something that's not on their menu, if you want a certain video card or a certain special thing, they'll go out and buy it, source it for you, and install it in the computer. Yeah.
Well, that's worth a lot, I think.
It is, and John Bach over there is the guy we deal with. He's the CEO. He's a super guy.
Excellent.
And you can just call him and say, hey, how's my computer coming along? And you might think it's pricier, but their prices are
they're competitive.
Definitely in there. So if you want something, if you're the kind of person, if you just want a cookie cutter machine, they have some pre-configured systems. But if you want like a special, you know, it's got to be done this exact way, they can do it. This is called the Echo 2. Right. And it's perfect for anywhere where you don't have a lot of room, or I've been using this for the last month as a media center. That's what I was thinking would be helpful. I mean, obviously for gaming, this would be perfect, but then running your home theater with this kind of behind your other systems is perfect. It's very small. It is. I mean, this is like the size of a pad of paper. It's bulky. I mean, not bulky. It's heavy. There's a lot in there. It's sturdy. Right.
So this has all the functionality of a regular desktop.
Yeah. You notice on the front, it's got, this is a, this pops down. I don't want to force it, but this is your DVD drive. Right. And then here you've got a couple of USB ports and an eSATA port. But take a look around the back here. This is what I like.
This is serious.
Yeah. There's a lot of ports on the back here. So first of all, as well as a regular monitor port, it's also got HDMI out. Right. So if you've got an LCD TV, plugs right in. You don't need any special cables or special adapters. It goes right from HDMI. It's got, I think, 10 USB ports on here, which is like a lot.
Yeah, it is.
It's got.
Who needs all that? I'd like to customize mine to just have what, 4?
Yeah, well, you know, you're right. It's a lot of ports. You don't really need that much. No. But this motherboard has 10 on there.
But and this is a smaller motherboard, right? I mean, the entire thing is shrunk.
It's shrunk down.
It is mini, and we love stuff that's mini, right?
You do like mini stuff.
I do.
That's true. Like little mini toothpastes and
all of the minis. I love that. Mini Cooper.
Yeah, you love Halloween. You got the little mini Twix bars. No?
Mini golf.
Mini golf. It also has 5.1 sound. It's got digital sound, so it is really well set up for. And I'm going to put it down. It's heavy.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, it's
but this is. I mean, this is ready to use. So even if you want to use this for work purposes, so something beyond gaming, beyond theater, and you're in a small space.
Yeah. Now this has the new Core i5 in it, which is a big, heavy-duty processor. Yeah. But let's say you don't need a gaming or a home theater machine, but you've got, you know, let's say you've got some people working in accounting and they need a small footprint desktop. You get this with an i3 in it or a less expensive chip, and it doesn't take up a lot of room.
No, it's perfect for a small space, and not everybody has a large, you know, office at home or a space to have, you know, an entire setup. So I think this is really great for that.
Definitely. So yeah, it's a good little machine for, you know, for that. It does have a little bit of expansion space in there, but that's what you lose. A small bit. Yeah, that's what you lose with this over a full-on desktop tower. You can't put 5 hard drives, 2 network cards, double graphics cards. I mean, you can't stack it up like you can.
It can only be customized to a point because of, obviously, the limitations in size, etc.
But Puget does have a bunch of the full-size desktop towers. So if you don't want a little guy like this Echo 2, you can get a big one. So that is the Echo 2 by Puget Computer Systems. Go check them out, and not just because they were a sponsor of ours, because they're not anymore, but they were, and we were happy to have them. Quite frankly.
Plus, who doesn't love great service?
They have great service. John over there knows what he's doing.
I mean, dealing with hardware and techie stuff is often confusing and frustrating as it is. So to get great service, I think is worth it. Yes,
definitely. That's all the time we have in this section, but we've got another section coming up right after this, so please stay tuned. We're back, and in the second segment today, we're going to be looking at a few new products in the USB 3 or USB super speed category. Now,
cool.
Let me ask you a question. You are probably too young to remember life before USB.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. I mean, do you remember? Have you ever owned a computer that hasn't got USB on it? Well, I, being the elder of the two here, do remember that. And let me tell you, in the wasteland, Paleolithic days before USB,
you were churning butter.
Oh my goodness, there were so many different ports. Like hard drives used SCSI ports. They were called SCSI, S-C-S-I, yes. Printers used parallel ports.
Right, I did know that.
Modems used serial ports. I mean, you had like a plethora. I mean, keyboards had a thing called the PS2 port, which is this round thing.
So you needed a whole manual just to manage your ports. Okay.
Just for your ports. And we've actually come a long way since then. So then USB 1 came on the scene, okay? Old school USB. And that was
like
great.
Coolio, the Coolio of USBs.
Yeah, the MC Hammer of USB. So that was great because it unified a lot of these ports. Now your printer, your mouse, your keyboard, all of these could use the same universal serial bus. That's what USB stands for. The problem with USB 1 was it was rather slow. So no good for hard drives, because you would what would take you 1 minute to copy a file on your computer would take an hour.
Sure.
Okay, so way too slow. But it was great for non-fast stuff. Printers don't need to be fast.
Exactly.
Mice, keyboards, stuff like that. But for stuff that where you want some speed, like scanners, where you're transferring a large amount of information, hard drive, that's fine. But even USB 2, as fast as it was not that fast.
Not fast enough.
Still way slower. You could now, they have USB 2 hard drives.
Right.
A lot of people use them. Flash drives, that kind of stuff.
So don't be ashamed.
No. Stand proud, USB 2. But they've improved it again with USB 3.
Perfect.
So USB 3 is like 10 times faster. How fast is it? I know you did way more research than I did.
It's 5 gigabits
5 gigabits. So the old one, USB 2, was 480 megabits, which is half a gigabit. So this is about 10 times faster. Way faster.
This is like the Flo Rida of USB ports.
What's Flo Rida?
He's like,
I'm lost.
You got to look it up now.
All right,
you got to download.
I'll Google it later. So now, one USB port, one USB 3 port, you could stick 2 or 3 hard drives, your printer, your scanner. Quite frankly, it's fast enough for video.
Perfect.
You can put video on there, scanners. It's got a lot of speed, a lot of bandwidth.
Cool.
Perfect for hard drives. It will now no longer matter if your hard drive is in the computer or outside. It'll be just
this
as fast.
one has power.
Well, this is the other great. Oh, look, you're so happy with yourself.
I am. Yeah. I'll be pleased all day now.
Yeah. That was the other problem, is that USB 2. Have you ever seen one of those devices where you've got to plug it in 2 USB ports?
Right.
Like one for data and one for power?
Right.
No longer with USB 3.0. Take a look at this new cable. Hold it up for the good folks there.
Yep.
You'll notice that it has a separate section in there, and it actually puts a lot of extra juice in there. So you can run hard drives, you can run scanners, you can run all these peripherals without having to plug them in.
That's so nice. I didn't know that even bothered me until this was an option.
They tried to come up with this thing about a year ago called eSATA or SATA, which was a very, very fast interface. The problem is no power. So if you wanted to plug that into a hard drive, you then had to
have it plugged in.
To the wall.
Forget it.
Forget it.
Out of here.
Forget about it. So these are from StarTech. This is an express card. So if you have a laptop that has an express card slot with no USB, because you know what, in 2 years, USB 3 will be on every computer.
Sure.
But right now they don't have them. So this is a little express card slot. You would plug this USB cable. And by the way, on this side, you'll notice it looks just like USB 2.
Normal.
Backwards compatible.
Yep.
So you can plug USB 2.
So again, you don't have to be ashamed.
No.
You don't have to reconfigure everything.
No. But then you take this cool cable and you can plug it into, for instance, this is also from StarTech. This is a hard drive dock. So you plug a hard drive straight down into there.
Right.
Plug this in like so.
Easy to do.
Easy to do. And now you've got super fast file transfer.
Lightning
as fast as the machine, the one in your hard drive.
Right. Excellent.
In your
Perfect.
computer.
So this is great for transferring data between...
Yes, you had a story to tell.
Well, no, it's not so much a story.
I want to hear the story.
Really, I was just saying that I think it would have been helpful. No. That one time, I mean, at work, at a place that shall not be named, we were transferring large files of Oregon Trail, the game, an old version.
Oregon Trail?
Right.
Okay.
And we had to do it quickly and quietly, and we're transferring versions of this game from one computer to the other, and it was taking forever. Right. So that's the main point. I mean, other people are already playing. How were you transferring
it? Like on a flash drive?
Yes.
Or, oh, yes.
Small, little flash drive. So this would have been helpful because then you can already be up and running, forging the river.
You take like a...
You get scurvy, whatever happens.
Indeed. Fun for the whole family. You can take a USB 3, like a 16 gig USB 3 flash drive, plug it into one of these, and you'd be playing Oregon Trail before you knew it.
Wow.
I mean,
see, that would have been helpful. I'm telling you.
Super quick.
Yeah, I love that. So, I mean, obviously, these two parts come separately. So this is about $40.
This one's about $40, I think. Yeah, this one's a little more expensive. I think it's 60 or 70 bucks. But you don't need this. If you have a hard drive that has USB 3, this would just plug straight into that hard drive. Perfect. This is for bare drives. You know, you can just stick a drive,
an actual hard drive
in there.
Yeah.
But that's the great thing, again, about USB 3 is it'll have all these same sort of peripherals you're used to today. Right. And if you have a laptop without a USB 3, you can buy an express card adapter like this, plug it in, and boom, you're up to speed.
Right.
I bet you didn't know what that express card slot on your computer was for. A lot of people don't use it at all.
I didn't, actually. Yeah. I don't think I ever have used it.
No, I've got
that would have been helpful.
Exactly. So this goes, slide it in, boom, you got.
So if you get a brand new computer and you want to transfer.
Yeah, and right now, I don't know if there's a lot of laptops that actually have it built in.
Okay.
But this time next year, you'll see a lot of laptops with USB. But these are solutions from StarTech.com.
Sure.
Very inexpensive, 20, 30 bucks for these things, 40, 50 bucks, you know, for this kind of stuff.
Worth it.
Not expensive for super fast transfer.
No. The speed is the best part. And then obviously if someone's helping you transfer data and then, you know, all of your songs show up very slowly, you know, what you have downloaded, and then you have to explain, like, why you have two versions of, you know, Michael Bolton's, like, holiday song.
I think you need to explain why you only have one version of that.
I have two versions.
That's crazy.
I know.
That's all the time we have.
So this will save you from these embarrassing situations.
Well, it's not going to save you from having Michael Bolton in your part of your music list. Nothing will save you from that.
It won't be visible. I mean, it's so fast. 5 gigabits per second.
That's very fast. She just likes saying that. That's all the time we have for this week. But go to our website, www.neo-fight.tv. Let us know what you think. I don't know about you, but I love the idea that this has a lot of power. So it'll power all your hard drives and scanners and all that stuff without having to plug them into the wall. That, for me, is the big thing.
Smart.
I was trying to end the show, wasn't I? Sorry. Or go to Facebook, www.facebook.com/neophyte. That's where you can enter to win some of the stuff that we review on the show.
Cool.
And if you happen to have an extra 30 seconds,
take a look at this.
If you need to make recordings of your computer screen, there's no better tool than Camtasia from TechSmith. In fact, you're watching a screen recording of this video right now.
Camtasia can record your screen, your webcam, and high-quality audio at the same time. It's perfect for training, presentations, podcasts, or any time you need to show what's going on your computer.
Camtasia is easy to use, but it's also extremely powerful. You can turn your screen recordings into high-quality polished video in no time and share them with the world.
And Camtasia is available for the Mac and PCs. If you need to make screen recordings to educate, train, or sell, there's no better tool than Camtasia from TechSmith.